Still can't hear me. Yes, I can hear you now. Can you hear me? Okay, cool. I was about to start a WhatsApp video call just in case. Oh, okay, okay, okay. No, it's understandable. You get to focus. No, 100%, 100%. Okay. True. True. Wow. Wow. No, you know what I recently realized, or at least I was watching a video on, I think it was Vusi Timbawayo, is that you're allowed to sort of take a break, you're allowed to feel pain, and you're allowed to sort of because you're a very busy person, so nobody should ever fault you whenever you want to just take a break. You know what I mean? Whenever you just need a little bit of space, almost to just recharge. And this whole idea that you have to be superwoman or superman, and just basically everything must just slide off your back, and you're gonna forget everything. I mean, even the most sort of successful people in the world also feel feelings, and they go through things, man. So I'm really sorry to hear that about your family and everything that you've gone through. 100%. 100%. Yeah. 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 Yes. No, so I won't lie. It's not the one. It's not the one. It's not giving you that thing. No, man, that is understandable. I realize that we're a different breed in terms of how much I love technology, even on campus where I'm working with digital art lecturers and such, where certain things that I take for granted that I know I would expect even digital artists or digital lecturers to know, but they don't. So I recognize that I am in in a special place in terms of my mind and where I am, and also you yourself in terms of there's definitely things that I would not subscribe to. That when I were to get into your world, they'd be like, "How do you do it? How do you continuously do this?" So I think the beauty of it isn't that different, without sounding cliche and sounding philosophical and such. But yeah, true that, true that. That is true. That is true. And I mean, I love your ideas. I continuously love the fact that you always pushing and you just really have sort of like a mind that continuously drives you to just keep making things better. I mean, I have a lot of friends that train. I have a lot of friends that are personal trainers. I have a lot of clients also that I think that they could sort of do more with what they have. They have more finances towards them in terms of being able to do certain things. Because, for example, you don't always have to, even with my friends, they know, or my clients, you don't always have to use me for certain products, but you can at least take the advice that I give, or you can just look into the actual technology space and then find out who can work well for you and where it can work well for you. I love that you've already tried out Wix. Wix is definitely a great place to start. I also started out at Wix in terms of creating websites. Just saying. Ninabantu bayo nyani, ninabantu bayo nyani. That's the truth. 100%. Hundred percent. 100%. 100%. The kids. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yes. So it's also great to have a target that you're working towards, that okay, cool. There's some, because people don't give out information also. I mean, you can go on the internet and very few developers are actually giving out their prices and their timelines. They keep it secret. They want you to email them. They want to have you on their database so that they can sell other products to you too. It's almost like the DM me for prices on Instagram, so people are really stuck in that bubble. So I fully understand. Yes, 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 yes. 100%, 100%. Okay. Yes. 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 Okay. Yes. Yes. Okay. 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 Yes. Okay. Yes. So sorry, I'm actually just looking at the app now. It's one app of the year. Also, looking at it at the Play Store. Okay. No, 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 no. I was literally because I'm using two screens. Sorry, the screen that we watching now is where my camera is, and sorry about that. But yes, no, no, no. That's great. That's great. This app, I understand exactly because I also wanted to just open it and see what we both talking about. Right. I love it. I love it. This works. Yes. 100%. Okay. Okay. No, I understand. No, I was gonna say I understand what you're saying. It's almost the same way or same reason why people would look for therapists. You know, their life can be fine and everything can be in order, but they just need a little bit of therapy to align them and to sort them out in terms of their personal sort of being and everything on that factor. I fully understand what you're saying. Yes, 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 yeah, yeah, yes, 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 yeah, yeah, yes, 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 mm. Mm. Yeah, yeah, no, 100%. Yes, yes, from the app, no, 100%. No, this is very possible. And I mean, without, showering you with compliments, I really love the thought process that you're going in. So, right now, something that's really trending up, especially with online teaching, is instructional design. So, what instructional designers do, in a sense, what I've now become at UKZN is that we change the way that we present information to people and how people learn, whether it's in a school environment or it's in a corporate environment. So, whether we're training people for new positions or new tasks in their company, or we're actually training people for a new course or curriculum, there has to be a different way that we make people stay engaged with the content, because people are losing that engagement. People lose that inherent motivation for themselves. And yes, when something is too overwhelming for a person, that's one of the reasons why people lose engagement. For example, if we present to you a whole course outline in terms of how to do 3D animation at school, and you look at that and it's overwhelming and you've never done 3D animation before, you might deregister, you might feel demotivated, and you might leave that course. Whereas if we break it down into smaller parts and we lead you down a path that you may like, that will be easier for the person. And something that I've also added in terms of my teaching or my tutoring at UKZN is that whatever a person is into, say a person is into interior design or a person is into fashion, I try and angle the 3D animation or the 3D modeling towards what the person already likes. So, in the same way that you would ask in the questionnaire what the person's reason for losing weight is, what their daily routine is in any case, so that you know that you've now formulated a path for them that will work better for them, as opposed to being more detached and thinking, this is just fitness for everyone, or it's just fitness for this and that. No, this is fitness that is catered directly for you and your type of person. And even dietitians do the same thing. Dietitians want to know your blood type. Dietitians want to know why and how much weight you want to lose and all of that before they start giving you a diet that you may not stick to. In terms of it being possible, this is possible, right? So, what you're looking for is, in a sense, a way to disseminate information. The app will be disseminating information, right? There will be pieces of content that a person, in a sense, unlocks after certain stages that they've passed. And depending on the questionnaire itself in the beginning, which can be a very simple questionnaire, it can be image based, because once again, we're trying to keep the person engaged. So as opposed to, after you've asked the personal questions like their name, their ID, maybe their weight and age, just to maybe measure BMI and that type of thing, we then start to go into more graphical questionnaire type situations where you ask a person how fit are you, or how active are you, and then you show an image of someone who's continuously running and doing sports, and then on the other side you show an image of someone who's sitting in an office and always working on their computer, which means that you're always sedentary, you're never really moving around. So once a person who's sedentary and is always sitting and not moving around, once they click into that, it then takes them on their own path in terms of the holistic solution that Happy Fit is going to provide for them, as opposed to the person who's highly active, who's already moving around, who just wants to add that little bit extra to their routine. Then you create something different for them. So this is very, very possible. It's not the most difficult thing to create in terms of the apps that you have called out for. For example, the app that will measure your steps, that would require the gyroscope, one, to be active on the phone. So there would need to be a gyroscope, something that measures the movement, that measures that, okay, cool, this person is moving up and down, and that translates into steps, or that translates into a run, or this translates into cycling. So it would connect to the GPS, it would connect to the gyro. So when even developing the app, that all needs to be connected, which makes it very difficult for that to be a website, because now, that website, for a website to ask permission to connect to your gyro and GPS, it becomes an issue, because now it also has to be connected to the net, whereas an app can take the information which your phone stores natively on your phone, run it, and then it stays on your phone, as opposed to have to send it to a cloud continuously. So there's those factors that come into play when you have to measure a person's movement. So when it's just simply information that you're presenting to a person, much like a diet plan, it's the same way that if we take a whole PDF diet plan and we just simply break it down into slides, into images, into something a bit more presentable, that is not difficult in creating an app like that, right? And also, in the same way, the same app that you would be putting in information that has to measure your calories, those apps have to have a database that they're either pulling from, or a database that they've created internally. That database has calories for every single item of food. And then those items of food, when put together, they create a calorie equation for a whole meal. And each exercise that you do also has the calorie points that are being minused, every time you're exercising. So the equation for that app, even though there are APIs, so APIs basically are pre-programmed scripts or pre-programmed applications where you just simply pull it into your app, you add your logos on top of it, and all the calculations have been done in the background already. You simply just add the Happy Fit logo on top of it. So you get those types of apps just to make things a little bit easier, and to also reduce the cost if you were looking to create the app where it's going to be calculating your calorie intake and your calorie burns. So the app that you're proposing at the moment in time, unless you're going to add those other factors from the other apps, which is nice. People do like a whole, let me use the word again, like a holistic solution towards an app that they're using, as opposed to having MyFitnessPal, having my 30-day lose stomach, having my Samsung HIIT, high intensity training app, having my Nike running app. Some people like to just have one holistic solution for everything. But also, I do understand where you don't want to overwhelm people. You want to come with something that is potent, something that you can focus a lot of energy on and carve out a niche in the market that not a lot of developers are carving out. Maybe you get Fabulous, who is the best app of the year. They have carved out that niche, but they're also overwhelming people purely with the fact that now they also have to meet numbers. They also have to start pleasing whatever bosses have signed up, and for the same reason why they'll have a 7 day free period, which is obviously a business based decision. It's not a fitness based decision. You know, it's an app in a sense created for fitness, but it may not have been created by fitness people, or it may not be owned by fitness people. And your app will be owned by a fitness individual. So your thinking is purely for a person's fitness. So even your free trial is in consideration of how long does it take for a person to really gain a habit of being fit. And the beauty of what you would do in that, by creating that, by making just that little bit of a change, by just allowing a person to have 21 days instead of 7, is that you will actually have more users coming back to the app, because you have now created a habit that is stuck onto your app. So a person may have developed a habit within 21 days that they will continuously become fit. As much as they will now want to deregister or stop the trial, you've now created a habit within them. So it's a positive factor in any case, whether they carry on using your app and pay it, but now they have a positive attribution that they are connecting to your app, that Happy Fit has helped me be fit. Whether or not I'm continuing to use it or not, but I am happy that I used it. It's the same way that I promote the Nike running app. I love it. I tell everyone about it purely because of how it just leads you in. It takes things slowly but surely. It understands that we're all not at the same place, and it just allows a person to grow. Everyone that I speak to who doesn't want to run, I tell them about the Nike running app because it really has worked well. And I use a lot of different apps when it comes to fitness, from Strava to MyFitness to Samsung to Nike. You know what I mean? So I love that factor. I love the fact of you, one, being a fitness person and you owning the product, and you will continuously own the product up until financiers come in. And I think obviously you are still a strong-minded person, that you won't let your mind be swayed too much by whatever finances come in terms of the sponsors or investors and anyone who wants to sort of just like make a lot more money than helping people, rather, if you get what I'm saying there. Because, yeah. Sorry. Mm, mm. Mm. 100%. Yes. 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 No. Yes. 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 Okay. Yeah. Yes. 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 That's true. Yes. 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 Mm. Yeah. So I can imagine that those teams are listening to their fitness specialist. You know, they're listening to their fitness specialist more than they're listening to the business side of it. Because the 7 day model is what Netflix does, it's what YouTube music and YouTube video does. You know, always trying to push, yeah, we'll just give you 7 days and then you carry on. But from what you're saying, I definitely see that what we would need to do is definitely create an app at some point, right? But a lot of things can be done on a website because you're not asking for a lot in terms of the functionality. And then from there, a person, excuse me, can either save the website as a offline page. Excuse me, they can save the website as a shortcut. We can further develop a web-based app where it's in a sense the website, but it's shaped like an app. It's in the sort of shell of an app. So there's an icon on your phone and what else? But you just don't download it from the app store. You know, you simply just get it from the website. You know what I mean? And it's on your phone. So, but it'll always require you to be connected to the internet, right? So there's three types of apps. So there's a native app. Native app simply just stays on your phone. So a native app would be like your 30-day six pack or your six pack in 30-day app, right? Where I download it and all the exercises are on the app. I don't need to connect to the internet. Ndingayazi lalini, and I will always be able to just redo and keep on doing those exercises. Now that's a native app. Then you get a hybrid app where it needs, or let's say, let's move to the web-based app. Then you get a web-based app where you have to be connected to the internet for it to work. So much like a takealot.com, more your store apps, anything that's selling anything, or even your social media apps like your Facebook and such, those are web-based apps. As much as they apps, they don't work without the internet. And then you get a hybrid app. A hybrid app is the mix between the two, meaning that it's got native capabilities and it's got web capabilities. Where I really love apps is the hybrid element, where we've created the app, it's got a lot of information on it. For example, your app would be beautiful if it was a hybrid app because you would have the solutions within the app, almost like as if it's a native app. Everything as you download it is now on your phone. You don't need to connect to the internet, but then it becomes hybrid because at some point you might want to update certain things, or you might want the person to connect and have a leaderboard or a sort of comparison charts to other people. That would have to be connecting to a database online. That would have to be connecting to a website or a web server. So it'll only connect at that point, meaning that it's also using minimal data. We have to understand that people really don't like spending a lot with so many apps and so many things that you spend on. It sucks at times when you have to also spend that little bit extra because of data or because of internet connection that you require, and simply for fitness. So a hybrid app will only really connect to the internet when it needs to update a little bit. Say you updated the one approach for people that are always sitting on computers. Now you want to add a little bit of yoga because I have back and shoulder pains, and you want to add that to the app, but it wasn't there originally. So now it connects to the internet simply to update that. Then it becomes a hybrid app. So that's why I think the solution for you would be best to be a hybrid app. I choose hybrid apps for a lot of people and native apps, because web-based apps themselves, if we're gonna go web-based, then we may as well just do a website with app capabilities, because also the cost comes in when you're really developing an app. Apps are